Santa Claus? Do you fuck my mom, Santa?
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
You have a TV? No. I just like to read the TV guide. Read the TV guide. Don't need a TV.
It's out special Christmas. Christmas.
I told you we should have gone and seen it.
Over 1,600 titles, each for rent at just $2 the first night, and only...
And for all these reasons, I've decided to scalp you and burn your village to the ground.
Now, I have to kill all of you.
Welcome to the Frog Brothers podcast with your hosts, Justin and Alec.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. And a Happy New Year.
Hello, and welcome to a special bonus episode of the Frog Brothers podcast.
Guess what?
I'm the host, Algic, and your other host is Justin Ass. Justin my ass. Justin your ass. I don't know.
Justin whose ass? Surprised you didn't say just in time or some shit like that. That's usually what I get.
No, that's lame as hell. Justin Ass.
I'm just an ass to you? I know my ass is nice.
No,
it's like a Lego man.
Just in ass.
Oh, I thought you said an ass. Typical nonsense bullshit.
Just
Hey,
an
so
ass.
this fucking week we're talking about the goddamn Star Wars movies. And there's
Star Wars movies.
There's a fuck ton of them by now.
I like Star Wars. Do you like that Yoda, huh? He's some Attack of the Clones, right?
That yoga guy, man, he's real fucking special. That little green guy that looks like a fucking Kermit the Frog fucked Miss Piggy. Yeah, that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty powerful. He's got that little wood stick and he beats up that robot guy. That's like a really good movie.
You were drifting into Carl territory.
I know.
Aquatine Hunger Force.
Exactly. It's beautiful.
Starts warping and changing. Anyway, you want to get into this?
Yeah.
Are we going to go back and forth on this one?
Oh, man. That's a good question. So this segment is a ranking. So we're ranking all the Star Wars movies first to last, and it's our official rankings here. Now, some people might get triggered in this. Some people might have their opinion about us changed. But the moral of the story is we want to know how you fucking rate the Star Wars movies. This includes all 9 of the Skywalker Saga films, and the standalone films, and the animated Clone Wars film. Much to Nick's displeasure, we have excluded the Ewok movies from this list.
Yep.
So, what's your number 12? What's last place? Or do you want to start with the top and work our way down to shit list?
No, we'll start with the shit.
Okay. All right. And actually, Nick, what's last place for you?
The Last Jedi.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's the absolute... Okay.
I mean, hard disagree, but whatever.
It has its good parts, though. Yeah.
I don't know if we watched the same movies, but all right.
Yeah.
Who's next?
So my number 12...
I could explain.
Well, you chose not to. You had your chance, so you're fucking...
I've already explained to him, I think.
Well, mine is Solo, a Star Wars story.
No.
Finally,
Yeah.
a sane man.
That
Same.
movie's fucking hot diarrhea garbage.
It is. The
Now-
only thing that movie has going for it is Donald Glover. And a little bit of Chewbacca.
Donald Glover and that real short scene with Darth Maul at the end.
Yeah, but even that, you're like, okay, I'm getting teased Darth Maul for nothing, basically. I've never seen anything to follow that up. I see him on a fucking hologram.
He's in the cartoons.
Before that. This isn't... Like, you know what I mean? This is teased as live action, and then you don't get that satisfaction ever, so it's fucking wasted. Even that.
Well, he was probably going to be in Solo 2, but...
Which, dear God, thank God we're not getting that hot fucking steaming garbage. I'd have to pin my fucking eyes out
Now,
in the theater.
I will tell you this. If you just pretend like Han Solo's a different character, like Han Solo's brother or some shit that a sequel would do, it's actually a halfway entertaining movie at points.
Jeff Solo.
But the fact of the matter is Alden, whatever his fucking name is fucking terrible as Han Solo and ruins the fucking movie because he takes me out of every fucking scene he's in the moment.
The character they wrote is not Han Solo either. It is not written as Han Solo. It's written as Bob Dolo. I don't fucking know. Some asshole. It's not the same guy.
Feels like a straight-to-video sequel for that actor. You're like, how did you get this guy to be Han Solo? Like, what fucking American Pie number 85 did you fucking find him in and choose to fucking put him in this movie for? Jesus Christ.
He was in, like, a Coen Brothers movie the year before that.
Yeah, well, fuck him.
Nominated for, like,
sucks.
Oscars and shit.
And I'm sorry, you might be a very kind, nice person in life, but what kind of fucking pompous, arrogant piece of shit thinks they can fucking go down, talk to their agent, go audition for fucking Han Solo, and think that you're as good as Harrison Ford is going to be? Or was? Excuse me, you need to see a fucking shrink, because you're out of your fucking mind. All right, what's your number 12, Alec?
Solo.
All right!
Exactly. I'm not even going to go on a rant on it, because you just did it for me, and I don't have to now. I appreciate that.
All right.
Because I don't need too much hate in my life.
No.
So I will give that the double stamp.
There's things I like in that movie that I find fun, but overall, it's my least favorite. Nick, 11.
Phantom Menace.
Any reason for that?
Besides the obvious.
Everyone has different opinions here.
Give us any dislikes or likes of the movie. Specific dislikes. More than just, like, Jar Jar Binks, obviously. Do you agree? Do you hate Jar Jar Binks?
It's similar to my reasons for Last Jedi. Is the humor was a little silly. I don't want to see cutesy child Darth Vader and.
But you like Solo.
I don't like Solo. It's just,
I know. I'm just giving you shit.
I don't have it as low as you guys. Yeah, he's not a good Han Solo particularly, but who would be besides Harrison Ford? But I think I don't know, it's competently put together for the most part.
All right, well,
Phantom Menace was kind of boring, I thought, and the effects haven't held up.
I mean, it's not a hot take to say Phantom Menace is not a good Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
so.
like no, we're not going to argue that on this point in the list. Yeah. My number 11 is Clone Wars. They basically even admitted that it's kind of an after-the-fact thought when they created the TV series. They kind of put that in there to be a preface to the TV series when they're developing it.
I'll just say right now that that's also my number 11.
Okay, yeah, it's...
And I should say that's not on my list at all because I don't remember it.
Yeah, that's fine. It's...
Yeah, I've only watched it once, so that's... I remembered...
I don't know.
I would rather watch that again now than Solo, so that's why I put it above it.
Basically, me.
If I was to choose between the two, I'd watch Clone Wars because it's probably going to have more to do with something like Mandalorian that I care about than Solo.
Exactly, and to me that's another reason why it's there. The animation's fine, it kind of they find their unique style that they're going for. Everything else is fine. Like we all know, Dave Filoni's a competent director. He's gone on to direct the Clone Wars animated series. He's done episodes of Mandalorian now, right? So it's his competency's there. It's just that movie was kind of the afterthought, not amazing. So, all right, number 10, Nick.
Attack of the Clones. Yeah.
Attack of the Clones. Okay.
Alrighty then.
It's also kind of boring, I thought.
Such elaborate explanations.
Thanks for the fucking insight. Jesus Christ. Should I have actually given that mic to him? Well, it's still my mic, but he's just using it.
What's your number 10, Justin?
The Phantom Menace.
Any likes, dislikes?
I said more than you.
The biggest things I dislike about The Phantom Menace is how the fuck does Darth Vader not remember making C-3PO when he creates that? Did he create him from a kit? Because you see other droids like that. Did he patent that design and widely circulate it? Right?
I think the original trilogy was just made before.
You're laughing at yourself, Nick. No one else is laughing at you. We're laughing at you, not with you.
No, they made... That's why.
Well, I mean, that is the logical reason in our universe. but it is not within the Star Wars universe.
So that's the first thing on there. Obviously, the kid that plays Anakin is like not compelling. He's kind of boring. But there's elements in that story that I like, right? Qui-Gon Jinn's great.
Ewan McGregor introduced as Obi-Wan is
Ewan
good.
McGregor as Obi-Wan is great. Darth Maul, one of the most iconic fucking Sith villains. The best villain of the fucking prequel trilogy.
I will
hands
say,
down.
though, Darth Maul suffers from Boba Fett syndrome in this because he doesn't get enough to do enough cool shit, and he just gets pretty fucking wiped off the slate really quick once you're around him. It's like just like Boba Fett or Captain Phasma, where you're like, this person has such cool, awesome potential. No. It's like one of the coolest character designs in the Star Wars universe, and the character has like, they don't do much. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
But I'm saying, yeah, like that character has that potential there, right?
Yeah,
And
that
then-
lightsaber battle, that's the reason that movie is higher on my list.
Yeah, that lightsaber battle in there, lightsaber battle in Duel of the Fates right there. That that fucking piece of the score alone. Yeah,
it's more that piece of music is more iconic than anything from the new sequel trilogy.
Absolutely.
I have no sequel trilogy music in my head that isn't just like rehashes of other stuff that you recognize. You know.
Yeah, even though it's all the same composer, but still.
Right.
Like that felt really fresh and timely for what it was at the time. Still holds up too. What's your number 10?
Rise of Skywalker.
That's fair.
This was the only Star Wars movie I've seen in a theater, and in the theater itself been like, man, does this suck? Like you have to understand, I was a kid I was 8 years old when Phantom Menace came out. That was fucking bread and butter. I could see nothing wrong with that movie when it came out as a kid. Same with up to Revenge of the Sith even. Now, as you get older, you realize there's flaws in them, but there's still... I could argue those ones, and I'll argue those when I get to them. But Rise of Skywalker, in the theater, I was disappointed from almost the opening sequence. Actually, the opening sequence. The part where it shows Kylo Ren doing a bunch of badass shit at the very beginning while he's searching around is cool. And then as soon as he gets into the scene with Palpatine and shit, you're like, oh no, this is bad. What am I watching? And I'll give you there's a few cool moments in that movie in general, like the battle, seeing the Knights of Ren, who are again suffering Boba Fett syndrome. Oh, we're finally going to see the Knights of Ren, and then they're wasted. The fact that those movies weren't planned obviously makes this movie suffer more, so I'll give it that. And I do like seeing the Emperor back. I do like his portrayal of him. He acted as him pretty well and stuff. But the fact that he's also some sort of weird clone potentially, and also just like mounted to a fucking claw machine basically, or some weird shit. Like it's just weird vibes that I didn't like. And I can't even I'm trying to even remember that movie. You know what I mean? Because I blocked it out of my head because I just did not enjoy it. Lando Calrissian's barely in there. Some of the stuff with him in the spaceship's cool, but the movie just doesn't do it for me.
The pacing's crazy, like fast.
Yeah, I knew definitely
breathe.
Going into it that Kylo Ren was going to be turning towards the good side at the end. That was going to happen, and then I bet I was thinking he was going to die right afterwards. I wasn't expecting the kiss between him and Rey. That was kind of like just weird, and it's clear. It feels so much more like a lustful thing because those two didn't actually really know each other. It seemed like they just wanted to fuck each other. You know what I mean? Like, shit, man, I wish I could have fucked this guy before he died.
Yeah, because they called him a dyad in the Force or whatever though.
Yeah, it's weird.
So I mean, I get it.
That's my reasoning. I just don't like it very much.
All right, number 9, Nick. What's your number 9?
Solo.
Why is that rate above the Phantom Menace, in your opinion?
It aged well. It's not very old to age, but I thought it was just, I don't know, a better made movie. It's not as silly. It's pointless. But so so was Phantom Menace, really.
I don't think Phantom Menace is that silly.
It's pretty silly.
I'm trying to remember the silly shit you're talking about, and all I remember is Jar Jar Binks. That's it. Maybe the Gungans in general, but that's about it.
I mean, yeah, the silly usually is around him, but he's in a lot of it. And
He's not in that much. I just rewatched it, and I distinctly remember thinking Jar Jar Binks is in a lot more of it, and he's more in your face, but
It's silly, and then it's boring with the plot. I don't know. And like you said, Darth Maul's underused. And
I was just curious what made Solo stand out more to you than that. And
it doesn't annoy me as much.
That's fair. All right.
It's all personal preference.
My number 9, Last Jedi. There's things I love about this movie, and there's things I fucking hate. Most importantly, let me get this out there right now. Rian Johnson, if you ever hear this, I don't hate you as a person. I fucking hate you as a director. You suck.
Looper's pretty good.
Yeah, but Looper, he wasn't trying to set up his own fucking Star Wars trilogy by fucking shoehorning it into a fucking Star Wars movie.
You shouldn't be mad at him. You should be mad at whoever gave him the job.
I'd blame his bosses.
I would blame fucking J.J.
Nope.
Abrams for not saying, let me do all 3 of these and not just set up one for other people to come in and fuck up. It is not Rian Johnson's fault. It is the planner's fault who hired him and hired everybody and
maybe they told
saw
him,
all of that shit over.
Maybe they told him to set up his new trilogy in it, too.
Right. They're not just going to let him fucking do whatever he wants. You don't have full creative control when you make a Star Wars movie. I don't care who fucking you are. George Lucas wouldn't.
It seems like he had more
I'm gonna
than
take
he should have.
But anyway, go ahead with your point.
I'm going to go back to my point with someone thinking they can be Han Solo. You know, you might think you can direct a Star Wars movie. You might even think it's a good idea. But chances are, you probably shouldn't. And he fucked so much of this up. And like he said he deliberately just did stuff to piss people off, essentially, is what he said in interviews. He's like, well, I just did it because I'd never done it that way before. I did what I wanted to do. You're like, well, you're trying to tell a cohesive story.
What I'll tell you about that is that Casino Planet thing is one of my least favorite things in any Star Wars media ever. But the rest of the movie, I hold in higher regard than that. But
so I hate what he did with Luke Skywalker. Although one of the best scenes in the whole fucking sequel trilogy comes from Luke talking to Force Yoda, because Yoda is the same fucking cranky old hermit that he met on Dagobah and Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Same types of jokes, same types of humor. Like, it felt like that was the Yoda that, you know, has like gone a little batshit crazy from isolation. To be honest,
the Luke performance from Mark Hamill as Luke, and even the character written Luke in that movie, other than his sudden change of, like, he keeps going back and forth or whatever, there's a little bit of that too much, but it's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, I don't mind his characterization as much as a lot of people.
The only thing, my other big gripe with that movie that puts it so low on this list, right, is the Force projection, right? Luke isn't even dead, and he's able to project himself into a Force fight with Kylo Ren halfway across the fucking galaxy, like, who knows where. Like, okay, I understand you have strong Force, but again, it's another one of those things where we've never even discussed a Force user being able to do this, and now here it is as a fucking plot, and it takes all of his energy and it fucking kills him. Like, why didn't he just fucking fly out in his X-Wing and go fucking fight him in person? Because essentially all he was trying to do is do that, but he was almost too cowardly to go die, like, in a good way.
It's kind of like the Force healing in Rise of Skywalker to me. Because it's like, I think it's probably been mentioned before that, you know, and it's in Mandalorian now. I get that.
I think it was just Mandalorian it was like a week before.
Yeah, and that was a special episode. Like, that episode aired right before Rise of Skywalker released.
What I will say in Last Jedi, the shit that sucks, regardless of the logic behind it, is Princess Leia getting sucked out of the spaceship and then flying back in.
That's blown out.
It doesn't matter. I don't care to argue semantics.
It's a Star Trek joke.
Yes, and more importantly, like, in post-production, they knew that she had died, so why didn't they just let her die there? Well,
my thing is, like, all right, it just looks dumb. Thematically, it looks stupid, and they play music towards it, and I felt this, like, just awkward shame come over me for the directors and the filmmakers. Like, I was embarrassed for them. The fact that they put that in the movie. When I was watching it in the theater for the first time, I was like, ooh, what are you doing there? Ooh.
You mean when she's...
Yeah, when she's just like...
To the ship?
Yeah, I was like, this is cringe. This is cringe city.
It looks stupider than it actually is as a concept.
Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like,
it makes
even
sense that she can pull herself to the ship, but it just comes off.
It looked bad too. They were like, it looks like a fucking plastic ballerina flying through space, like somebody threw it over a black background, like.
Yeah,
it was weird and just upsetting.
Look good either.
Yeah,
anyway, that's why that's my number 9. There's, like I said, there's some stuff that it's some of my favorite stuff from the sequel trilogy in there, but overall it was a misfire for me. And I'll get to that when I get to it. But when I get to Rise of Skywalker, I'll explain why I like that better than Last Jedi. So,
my number 9 is The Phantom Menace.
Okay.
I mean, what do you say? There's Jar Jar Binks and there's fucking Gungans. So obviously it sucks to some degree. But you have the pod racing scene. You have the introduction of all this shit like the Trade Federation, which a lot of people don't like the politics, and I just don't give a shit. I don't mind the politics, okay? So I'm fine with that. I actually find it fascinating now watching it as an adult, because as a kid I didn't understand any of the politics they were talking about. It was just a Star Wars movie to me. So I think it still works as when you're a kid watching it versus an adult, you get something different out of it. The Trade Federation, like weird effects. There was just a thing you showed me today on the Mandalorian making of stuff where it showed like all the models of the pod racers were actually practical effects. Like when they're not moving around and shit. And like the big stadium was like a real production.
Out of all the Star Wars movies and content ever made,
they had more miniatures for that movie than any other Star Wars
Phantom
movie.
Menace had more miniatures than anything else, and they're great looking miniatures too.
That's just fascinating, and it goes to show that like even though this is a CGI fuckfest, it's still Star Wars, you know. There's still some shit in there. And
so many of the miniatures were in different scales, right? You could see some pod racer engines that were a certain size scale compared to other things. So
yeah, and you got a really shitty looking Jabba the Hutt in there, but Jabba the Hutt no less. What's his face? Watto?
Yep.
I like Watto. It's a good. Yeah. It's there's arguably a little racist there with that and Jar Jar Binks, but I like Watto. I don't like Jar Jar Binks. So.
Yeah, no, Watto makes sense because he's kind of his character makes sense for what the story's doing, right?
He fits the Tatooine feel very well.
Jar Jar Binks is they just made him so over the top with the comic relief. They wanted a large, kind of dopey character, but like the thing about Chewbacca being a large, dopey character is that he still kicks ass and takes care of business when he needs to, right? Which is most of the time. Other than that, he's just like hanging out, and Jar Jar didn't ever really have that. So
yeah,
that was. So number 8, Nick.
Are you guys all gonna list like? Is Justin's list Solo, Clone Wars, prequel trilogy, sequel trilogy, Rogue One, original trilogy?
No.
Close. But no cigar.
Mine is Rise of Skywalker.
You're number 8?
Yeah, and I don't think the Emperor should have come back, but for someone who likes the Emperor, you enjoy that part of it.
I feel the same way. I really like the Emperor, and I'm not saying he shouldn't have come back, but it's like in the grand scheme of the planning and everything, it's just like it wasn't done right.
He elevates the prequels for me too. I like that he's in all 3 of them.
Yes, that's very much another reason I would say I like those movies, is because even as a kid, watching Phantom Menace for the first time, you don't really know. I didn't know that was Palpatine. Even though they might call him that, I still didn't realize that until episode 2 when I watched that in theaters. I remember realizing, oh, that's the fucking Emperor. That's what's happening. He's persuading. Like, it was so cool to realize that as a kid watching the movie.
And if Rise of Skywalker made sense to the rest of the trilogy, if it was been set up, but each movie now feels like its own separate.
It does.
Thing.
They don't feel like a trilogy.
No, it's just 3 different movies. And,
that's a good point.
And the pacing, like I said, is just crazy fast. It's constantly moving to the next scene. There's no time to breathe. There's no time for character development.
I think it's the first Star Wars, like, Skywalker Saga movie to open up and not go to, like, a space battle or something, right? Like, it goes right down to fucking him. Yeah.
Battle, yeah. But I enjoy it so much more than Last Jedi, though.
I'm the opposite, but I get it.
And, well, I won't talk about Force Awakens yet, I guess, but that's Kinda
So
got
that's
the
your
nostalgia
that's
fun.
your number 8 then, okay?
Yep.
Well, mine's Attack of the Clones. It just there's things in there that are interesting, but there's also like so much bullshit in there as well.
What's the bullshit to you?
Jango Fett, I thought they did not make him a compelling character for me. Like, I just didn't care about him, right? To me, for like the Mandalorian piece, like, which has so much cool stuff going on with it now, and even like the myth and the legend that like Boba Fett was, just from like the little screen time he had and like the imagination of that. I kind of feel like they kind of ruined that for me.
He seemed like an afterthought that they just kind of added to the movie.
Well, and I get that you need that for the Clone Wars, right? Because you hear the Clone Wars referenced, but maybe it could have been the actor's performance. Like,
That's weird, because that's one of my favorite parts of that movie is Jango Fett, and he's interwoven throughout the whole movie. Without Jango Fett, you don't have.
I like him. Yeah.
Even Obi-Wan and him coming to the princess to protect her, because he's hired a bounty hunter to kill her, so he doesn't have to do it.
Well, what's crazy is it's the actor who plays Jango Fett. I don't like him as Jango Fett, like his Clone Troopers and stuff, or all the other stuff he did. Like, I don't, it's fine. It doesn't bother me, but like, just the way he comes off
Well, he comes off as an asshole, yeah, for sure. But I think that kind of makes sense.
Well, yeah, to some degree, yeah. But like, and then Count Dooku is entertaining as he potentially has to be in there. Like,
all right, hold on. Let me help you out. Here's a couple things that suck in that movie. The diner scene with that fat slug guy when they're in the 50s diner.
Yep.
That sucks ass.
Yep.
It was stupid.
Yoda in the original prequel trilogy in general just sucks because he's like,
I am Yoda all and wise, but I am not silly at all. Nothing like the actual Yoda, am I?
No, and he's not even 100 years older. So if at 900 years old, you become tired, like, why did you change so much in 20 years?
Right.
I mean, I get isolations and all that stuff, but you're so connected to the Force, yeah, they fuck him up in there too.
Well, when he's fighting the Emperor, he's like hopping off walls, but as soon as he stops fighting, he's like struggling with his cane.
Yeah. Well, he fights Dooku in this also for a second, doesn't he? Yeah.
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 It's like when he's fighting, he's got energy and he's
exactly.
And he's jumping
well, it's
around
like it almost makes sense if he's using the Force or something, but it is so CGI-y. It's just like ooh, a little bit, and then
his little tiny lightsaber.
Well, yeah, it's like you want to see Yoda do a lightsaber battle, but not like this.
Well, you thought you did, and then you
see, and I'm not. I guess the piece here that I really feel like is missing from this movie would have been Darth Maul. He could have made this movie more interesting. Like, and I'm not saying that Count Dooku can't be in there and like to tell his little sliver of story that needs to be.
You're also leaving out the. I think the another thing that's this movie suffers, even though the whole plot of this movie revolves around, is Anakin and fucking what's her face falling in love.
Yeah.
Padme.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too, though, that really, when you watch this, I don't mind the fact that it picks up so far ahead of.
Oh no! I mean, it's interesting choice though, when you consider just the time jumps between movies of the Star Wars trilogies in general. There's always like different gaps.
It was like 10 years.
Something like that.
2, I think.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just almost wish. Like, a lot of the stuff that was in Phantom Menace could have just been like some smaller flashbacks, or just things they talked about within the first movie, right? That felt like you could have had some of this going on. But I felt like George Lucas was so focused on doing some of the technology piece with the Gungan CGI, and more specifically the robot army CGI, like the droid army, right? You know how that looks. Like, it was very like battle-esque and looked like, if you look at it now, it just looks like video games, right?
I'll just tell you while we're talking about this, my number 8 is also Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
Padme and Anakin's love theme is one of my favorite Williams Star Wars themes.
Score pieces, yeah. It's a good one.
That's what I was saying. These movies actually have better music than the sequel trilogy, I think.
Sequel trilogy has nothing that stands out.
That's what I mean. Like, I can't even think of any of it in my head.
The piece that sticks out to me the most from the sequel trilogy is Rey's theme. Like that little.
Is that just because it plays the most out of all?
On Jakku, right? Yeah, no, like just that little piece of it sticks in my mind the most. Like, that's one when I think of the new trilogy. Like, that's the piece of music I associate with it.
Attack of the Clones does have his legendary moment where he goes and kills all the sand people. I hate them!
Do it. Do the whole thing.
All of them! And not just the men, but the women. And the children, too! I don't know the whole speech.
You know enough of it for it to be funny.
Yeah. It amuses me.
Yeah, they just...
But that does push... They start sowing the seeds in this, too, of him being a bastard towards Obi-Wan Kenobi, basically, and just being ungrateful little fucking asshole.
I don't think they show their friendship. And
no, that's another thing here, like that.
They always seem at odds. So.
Yeah, he's always like trying to like.
I think they do.
Not enough, for me.
I mean, I could take that.
Not enough for that betrayal to feel authentic
they're still showing it
later on,
and for him to talk about how great of friends they were in the original trilogy.
Yeah. All right, number 7.
Revenge of the Sith. My numbers are different because I don't have my 12.
Why does that land where it does? Or what do you dislike about it?
I don't dislike anything of it other than it just has some of the flaws of the prequels.
Yeah, like the too much CGI and shit like that, and the fact that it is Hayden Christensen, which is like one of those things that's like
the script.
Sometimes I really like him. Sometimes I'm really like, oh, let's recast this now.
He's better in 3 than the 2.
Yeah.
The script and the direction and it's one of those things where it's never going to live up to what you imagined either. You know, showing how he became Vader. You know, and
I'll give you that. I definitely thought when I went to the theater in this, I was going to see more Vader in outfit. You know what I mean?
He showed very little.
He never even had a red lightsaber in this movie, which I expected. That would have been a cool thing to see, like, you know, him turn just a little bit earlier and, like, construct a red lightsaber or something dumb.
It maybe had...
I don't know. That's just like a dumb fan servicey thing in my head that I would like to see, but, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I like Revenge of the Sith a lot, so...
Yeah, would he have kept using the blue lightsaber? I mean, at what point does this, when you become a Sith?
I mean, he was already gained the title of Darth Vader.
At what point do you say, I'm using a red lightsaber now? Like him,
that's just one of those things that they never address.
Yeah. Man, in the same day I lost my wife, my 2 kids, my best friend, my legs, my arm, and my name. Shit. It's like a country song written right there.
It is. Oh my God, we should do that.
Country song from Darth Vader's perspective.
The implication of him killing those children is pretty
it's pretty good.
Dark for
Star
Wars.
Killing younglings. Get it right. They're younglings.
Oh, he's clearly okay killing children, though. I mean, it's not like he didn't do that already. So when he killed all the women and children that were the Tusken Raiders, it's like...
Yeah, but they were animals.
What's your number 7, Charles?
My number 7 is Rise of Skywalker.
Damn. That's literally like my 3rd worst movie.
Yeah, I know. So the things that I like about this, there's more I like in this, even though it's fucking sloppy. I still like it better than
What do you like about it? I want to understand. I really do, because I just can't understand it.
It has 2 movies worth of crap crammed because it had to be.
It's busy. I get that, right? And it's sloppy for a few other things. But things I do like, I like that, you know, you get to kind of see where Luke's going, right? I like how he came back as his Force Ghost, had his piece, and he has some sense of humor there. I felt like that was more authentic version of Luke than we saw in certain parts of The Last Jedi. This is my opinion. I'm not asking for yours. I'm just telling you where I came from on my ranking. Palpatine, I didn't mind. I like seeing Palpatine back because I like...
You didn't mind. Now, what does that mean?
I didn't think that was a bad choice to have him...
Randomly in the 3rd movie, but not mentioned in the other 2 with Snoke being killed off?
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't mind that at all. All right, that's where we differ then, because that's what makes this trifling garbage to me.
What would you have done in JJ's place after what?
Not
Last
included
Jedi
the
did.
Emperor or Snoke.
But what would you have done?
I've really...
Who would have been the villain?
Kylo Ren
Ren?
and the struggle between him and Rey would have been the villain. Him maybe fighting the Knights of Ren, and having to deal with that conflict. But the Emperor... I can't even remember the ending battle or how the Emperor dies or any of that. I've watched that movie 2 or 3 times, too. I can't remember it because I lose interest so hard.
I think they should
at certain spots.
Not bring the Emperor back, but Rey could have still been his granddaughter, and then she could have turned to the dark side, and then Kylo went back to good, and they fought.
That'd have been... I'd have been okay with that.
Disney's not going to...
That'd have been more surprising and something better to do, because as soon as they announced the Emperor and they had Ian McDiarmid or whatever, it was like, all right.
It's hard to be mad at that because you like him so much.
Exactly, but it's like if they'd randomly just brought Darth Vader back for this movie, because Darth Vader. And that sounds doesn't that sound so much more cringy? But it's not, because he died fucking too.
But you've already seen him as a Force ghost,
and he became good.
I guess my thing that would have made
But he's Force ghost only because he's gone back to the light side. There was, that's the implication anyway. I won't say that I know everything for sure, but the implication is that he's only a Force ghost because he's on the good side now. He wouldn't have been a Force ghost had he been evil.
The big thing, though, that to me that makes it work, and regardless, its execution piece, right, is not perfect on this, but what makes it work is the whole reason he's able to fucking tempt Anakin to go to the dark side is that there's ways to cheat death, right? It's not just becoming a Force ghost if you're a light user, right? It's that you can cheat death. So we've already had that plant. That's already been planted in our mind, right?
But I'm saying the fact that wasn't a planned thing and it's randomly just shoehorned into the third movie is why I hate it. Because believe me, I would have not minded had it been spread out through those 3 movies and we just had discluded Snoke altogether. That'd be fine.
Does the fact that those old legend novels bringing the Emperor back as a clone make it better? Makes it more powerful?
Or how about this? Do it just like the original trilogy, where in the first movie you have the Emperor on a fucking screen. That's it. Talking to Vader while he's thing. In the second one, he's kind of hinted at more, and he talks to him more on the screen more. And the third one, he fucking shows up. That would have, it'd been more acceptable to me had it done that way, because I like the Emperor, believe me. And even his voice and seeing him was cool. I admit that, but it's I was still just pissed. This is just weird.
I really like the feel of it. It's really...
Well, I like how
I don't like the Sith Temple either, because it's one of those things all right, I should have heard about this by now. I know you have to create new content, and I understand that process, but also this is just a little whatever.
Well, I like that for the way they're building the fleet in certain aspects of it, right?
That's another thing. I felt that was just recreating the whole plot from fucking Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, where you go there, Master Sifo-Dyas ordered this army 10 years ago. And so I was getting those vibes, but in another just annoying way. I was like, you're going to create another army. It seems like you guys already have some fucking armies. What's happening? How the fuck did you build Starkiller Base if you don't have armies of fucking people and
the logistics
resources?
The logistics of the sequel trilogy isn't explained.
Well, yeah.
To any.
Well,
I'm just tearing it apart here right now because
I'm
just
but
thinking about it.
It doesn't make any sense because it didn't
So
explain
here's where the sequel trilogy really went wrong, in my opinion, right? Because when you look at the New Hope, right, you don't need the Emperor in that because whatever. I mean, they could have easily... I'm surprised they didn't ever add any fucking scenes where Vader's talking to the Emperor or Grand Moff Tarkin's talking to the Emperor, right? I'm surprised they didn't...
I think there's one throwaway mention of the Emperor.
Yeah. So I'm surprised that's not there, but really when you look at it, the whole prequel...
Well, he's in there through the thing. He talks to him or whatever, right?
That was Empire.
Is it only in Empire?
Yep.
They mentioned the Emperor once when he dissolved the Senate in the meeting room.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But
he does mention him, though. So.
Yeah, he's mentioned in 4.
Yeah, so...
But there you go. That's literally what I've been saying the last couple days is you mention him in Force Awakens, you show him at the very end of Last Jedi, and there he is in Rise of Skywalker.
But that's what they would have done if they had planned.
Yeah, but planning requires
they had no plan.
A brain.
They had no plan at all.
I'm just pissed at that the thought and concept of that, the fact that they didn't plan them out pisses me off now. I'm like, who the fuck decides to do that and just let a director do whatever the fuck they want for the next Star Wars movie?
What they should have done after 8?
Writers.
it's not going to be a trilogy anymore. It's going to be 4 movies. They would have had a whole other movie to make money off of, and they could have made some kind of plan and saved it.
Well, yeah, I mean, hindsight's always the 20/20 piece, right? So the other thing I think that would have been interesting in this particular movie would have been Palpatine being a Force ghost or something like that, a Force zombie, whatever that looks like, right? You know, maybe because you're a dark side user, you're cursed in some way in your death, right? You know, but they try to do the whole thing. Like, maybe he's trying to steal someone's body, which they kind of get to that, but, like, he's already a clone, so, like, some of that just kind of cheesy. The same thing with Snoke, right? Now, they could have set the seeds up so, like, the Snoke clones were the Emperor's failed attempts at cloning himself.
But again, you saying that sounds like I would be annoyed watching that, because I'd be like, all right, so you just tried to... It's just too much dumb shit happening when you could be putting more into character development for, like, Rey, who feels underdeveloped in that whole series. And not to mention Finn and Poe.
Yeah. Now, some of my favorite scenes are when they go back to the Death Star to recover the tracker.
And
those see, I had forgotten about that.
That's another issue. There's too many MacGuffins. Like, we got to go here to get this. And then that'll
those have already been done in, like, the animated series, though, right? So those are already kind of a canon thing, like those holocron.
No, I'm not saying that
searching devices.
I'm not saying that they're dumb, but there's too many. We got to go here on this quest, like a video game. We got to go this to get this thing that'll lead us to this thing.
Are you describing the Mandalorian?
And then there's the dagger that somehow you hold that dagger, and she was in the right spot, and it points to where in the wreckage. Like, I don't know, that made sense, but
yeah, I didn't like that whole thing where, like, we got to find that shit that points to lets you find the fucking ancient Sith temple. All that shit I just didn't give a fuck about. I was like, this is just too much shit I don't need.
I don't know. I guess ultimately what it comes down to is I have more fun watching Rise of Skywalker than I do watching Last Jedi.
Definitely.
I just have more fun watching it when I'm watching it. Even though it's fucking crazy busy, but I'm still distracted enough by all the oohs and ahs and fun shit that, like, the stuff that really fucking pisses me off about The Last Jedi really fucking pisses me off. And so, like, I seriously just want to fast forward through certain parts of that movie because they're so fucking shitty.
I would rather watch Last Jedi 100 times than watch Last Skywalker once. Rise of Skywalker, whatever the fuck. I don't even know the name of that garbage-ass movie. But anyway,
I'm gonna start.
My number 7 is Last Jedi because I rather like that movie.
It's my favorite.
I rather like that movie. No, it Last Jedi. The opening sequence with the bombers and stuff, I like that.
Oh.
It doesn't a lot of it doesn't.
I defended the.
I was about to say, a lot of people argue about it.
I defended the shit out of that scene because it doesn't make sense. There's no gravity.
They're in ships that have artificial gravity, you dipshit.
But there's also magnetic induction coils.
And this is Star Wars. You don't know what kind of technology they have in any of this.
If you drop it or push it out, it's going
people can also move shit with their mind.
Line in space forever until it hits something.
Yes.
It made 100% scientific sense.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, it doesn't make sense. The bombers. It doesn't make any sense. Yes, it did.
I do like the element of this movie and that it shares with Rogue One, where it's like it first started coming out with these two movies. I feel like where it's like the Force is not just for people who are Jedis.
Yeah, that's fine.
I like that because, you know, she has the thing where she holds her necklace or whatever. You know, remember that when she gets bombed or whatever? She's all like into a...
Oh, the sister. Rose's sister.
Yeah. And then you see, the part where Finn's in the fucking tank and he comes out and he's all naked or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And that shit's just like, and then they just misuse Finn in that movie. I'll give you that. He's total shit. They ruin him. The casino. I will say this. This is my number 7. But if I could just take my Blu-ray and specifically scratch so it'll skip over the scenes that take place at the casino that have Rose and Finn in.
You could make an edit of this movie and make a good movie.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I just want to take out that shit, basically.
Good stuff. Yeah.
I love Rey and Luke. Rey and Luke together is what makes this movie for me because it does have... And maybe it's just more of the Force Awakens vibes that I'm getting because it's so nostalgic, but it has those good Star Wars vibes that I want when they're together usually. And especially when Yoda comes back And I know you disagree, Nick, but that Yoda is the fucking return of the real Yoda, as opposed to the prequel trilogy. Not only is it a puppet, he actually behaves like fucking Yoda.
I don't hate it. I was just pointing out that it might not be.
It was spot on. That's how I feel.
Yeah,
when I
like
watched it, I nearly died because it was so spot on. I was like, this is the shit right here.
Yeah, like when I say that's one of my favorite sequences from the sequel trilogy, it's because it feels so authentic to Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Yes, that's what it feels like to me.
Authentically, it feels like it's just, to me, like that's the most thing, like when you expect a sequel for these movies, like that's a scene that feels like it could
I wasn't
fit in
expecting
any
it
of
in that moment either when he
does-
shows up and stuff.
He does that kind of silly in episode 3 when he's with the kids, when he's teaching the kids. He's kind of jokey, and so I guess it is consistent. Sometimes he's serious and sometimes he's not.
I think it's better when he's wacky a little bit.
Yeah.
Even when he's with Luke, he's always a little jokey and wacky. Even like he's obviously wackier in Empire than Jedi. I will give you that.
Always dying.
But yeah. So if you go to Empire, I think that's like, you could argue that he's senile or whatever, but it's like, oh, whatever. He's like one of the most powerful beings in the fucking planet. His brain is not that weak. He can use the Force to fucking heal himself. Not, pissing people off here.
Yeah.
Yoda Force healed himself. That's why he's 900.
Some people are thinking that the healing is a dark side power.
Oh yeah, a lot of people think that.
That would also mean the child is.
Well, that's the thing is, dark side and light side is a Jedi thing, not a Force thing.
Yeah, that's all.
That's what the Jedis believe. The Jedi are dogmatic as fuck.
And so are the Sith.
They're
right?
a religion. Exactly. The Sith is like, and Jedi are pretty much one religion together. Like,
That's why.
coins.
That's why in title, when I heard The Last Jedi, like my mind lit up, my imagination went wild. I was like, "You're going to show me a user that uses both sides of the Force and is a balanced individual."
That's what everybody was excited about, seeing a gray Jedi.
One way
Well,
or
that's
the
what
other.
they think Rey is. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like
what
the yellow lightsaber. Yeah.
But they're saying like the Force lightning is a dark side power. So you're saying that every Jedi could do that?
I don't know. I don't know if they try. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think if you're, that's a whole other thing you haven't explored yet, right? We haven't had a need to yet.
It's not black and white, the Force. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, the Force doesn't care. The Force just exists there, right? The Force doesn't care who you are, right? You just choose how to use it like you can, like your car, right?
Yoda catches the fucking lightning. Does he throw it back at the Emperor in that? I mean, he doesn't lightning him back, obviously, but
Yeah, he
I don't think.
deflects it.
I don't know if they ever try it. Obviously, it is kind of a thing where
It's unexplored because I don't think they ever intended to go that
Exactly.
way with it. But that's why I was disappointed, and that's another reason why The Last Jedi I was disappointed in, because
Well, that's why I was disappointed with Rise of Skywalker, because Last Jedi laid all those seeds for that shit. Like with them almost coming together in that scene where they have their lightsaber battle, and then he kills Snoke, and they fight all those people and shit.
Speaking of Force lightning, I think we're done talking about Rise of Skywalker, but when that lightning came out of Rey's hands when she's trying to hold that ship, that was a cool moment.
I do like her using that. I can't even think of that moment in my head. I like her using that.
And they make you think that she killed Chewbacca.
Which that was...
I think they...
That was a little bit weird, just like how they systematically kill off each one of the important characters in each one of their movies. Like,
yeah, to me,
what are you doing?
Chewbacca didn't stay dead. Maybe he wasn't really dead.
Well, I'm not... Yeah, but Leia dies in that movie.
Oh, well, that's probably just because she died in real life.
Well,
yeah, I think
before that, Luke Skywalker died, then Han Solo died.
I mean, I don't think they would have necessarily killed Leia.
I don't know, but they did, so...
Well, they kind of had to.
No, they didn't. They could have just not put her in the fucking movie and killed her off in Last Jedi would have been better.
No,
Tell me that she shouldn't have been the one performing the Holdo maneuver.
I agree with that.
Well,
Tell me that.
On another episode, we can
Batman.
actually... On the next time we come to Star Wars, we'll pitch our better version of the sequel trilogy, right? What would have been a better version
But on
of
the
these?
same note, they should have let Finn die and not have Rose save him. If they were just gonna, if they were just gonna waste his character, they should have gave him that.
I can see that.
He would have saved everyone.
Yeah, sure. I can go with that.
So they should have left Leia dead. Should have killed Finn.
Yeah, and that would have kept Luke alive for the next
When
one.
I watched Rise of Skywalker,
That too, yeah.
other people talked about how natural Princess Leia's scenes felt. They did not to me.
Rise of Skywalker. I think they did as good a job as they probably could have.
Exactly, but
But
they
it did
shouldn't
not-
have done any job, I think.
But if you were someone watching that movie and you didn't know that Carrie Fisher died, if you had that mentality,
I don't. That's
what
the
would you
thing
have
is,
thought?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But all I know is that it was definitely noticeable, and I felt weird watching it, and I can't watch it without being like, "This is I don't like this."
Yeah.
So that's my 7.
So number 6.
Yeah,
Your number 6 or my number 6? We're to my number 6 now,
I'm
right?
on
Nick's.
Force Awakens. Yeah. I had a lot of issues with Force Awakens, but it has a lot of nostalgia that kind of makes you feel good inside.
Issues. What are your issues? The recreation nostalgias, the fact that it's one of those things that's almost a remake. That's what bothers you, I'm assuming. I would say it's the same, because you have the same.
They shouldn't have just found the Millennium Falcon. I think they should have just had Han Solo still have it.
Yes. I think the big thing, it's like they point out in the Jay and Silent Bob reboot, where he says something like, it's a movie about a young person on a desert planet who's whisked away to space battles, who has to destroy a giant
Yeah, it shouldn't have been a desert
weapon in
planet.
space, basically.
And they shouldn't have done the Planet Killer, Star Killer base.
And they shouldn't have named it Star Killer Base.
Well, there's certain...
Well, they make fun of it in the Lego Holiday Special. They
Yeah.
make fun of all that stuff.
There's certain things about that. When I get to that, I'll talk about it. But my number 6 was Revenge of the Sith. I just think the things about that movie that put that below...
What's the worst part of that movie for you?
The way they turn Anakin. And it's not because... My thing is they should have turned him fucking right at the beginning. Don't fuck around with it. I wanted that to be like Darth Vader through most of the movie, right? Turn him in the first fucking third of the movie.
Well, that's the thing. This comes into another thing of repitch the prequel trilogy, and that could work. But the way they did and the way Attack of the Clones ended, that won't work.
The only way they could have done it is if he was Hayden Christensen age in the first one.
Yes, basically.
Skip the whole child thing. They could have talked about it or shown flashbacks, but you needed... He couldn't have turned it in the third one the way it is in the beginning, because he didn't have enough time with him.
It seems like there's a fair amount of filler, though, that's just trying to get him to that point. Like, to get him... Even if they just had him be Darth Vader a little bit, right?
And didn't he just turn because he had dreams that Padme was going to die and the Emperor promised to keep her alive?
But they've been talking about since Phantom Menace that he can see the future. So it's not like... It's one of those force-sensing
I'm not
things.
saying it doesn't make sense, but is that enough to
Well,
just turn him to the dark side?
It is, because he saw it happen to his mother the same way. He saw her die in his dreams for a while, and then he went to... And she actually fucking died, so he thinks, oh, she's fucking gonna die for sure. This is going to happen. Like, that's in his mind, I think. Like, he's...
Yes.
There is no question that
Well, I
she
guess
is
he
going
had-
to die.
He had other qualities that made him kind of dark side.
And it's...
He's all passion.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's kind of been one of those unspoken things that Palpatine killed his mom to make him believe his visions are true, because I think he's been confiding in Palpatine, right? About that, right?
And he talks about in Attack of the Clones, very early on in Attack of the Clones, he's talking about how he thinks Obi-Wan's holding him back, and like that he thinks he's better than Obi-Wan Kenobi already and shit. So I think they do an okay job with some of that stuff.
And I think maybe they should have not done that in Clones and saved that sort of stuff for the third one. Like, we didn't see Anakin as a pure good guy. And then
Well,
when
that's
you
what the
watched,
first movie should have been: Anakin
And then when you watch the Clone Wars
and Obi-Wan together, whooping ass, having fun.
Then when you watch the Clone Wars cartoon, Anakin seems like this really nice, at least from what I've seen of it.
Well, that's the thing
really
is,
nice, straight.
you can
Jedi
watch
guy.
it and he comes across more as emo in Attack of the Clones than
in
angry.
the subsequent cartoon.
He's sad and he's struggling, and he's just starting to kind of be an asshole here and there. And then in Revenge of the Sith, he's still doing the same thing where he's like, "I'm sorry, I haven't been
he's back
good to you, Obi-Wan." And Obi-Wan's like, chill out, dude, you're
so
fine.
he murders all the Sand People, and then there's the Clone Wars cartoon. seems like all that really dark stuff should have been saved for the third one.
And the other thing here,
the Clone Wars cartoon also happened after that movie, so
I know, but it seems like he did some dark shit, and then he was.
Well, take that up with the people who wrote the cartoon, not that movie. But yeah.
Well, and I think the Clone Wars series is just it's stretched out over time, so you're not as likely to notice the things when they want to do that, right? They'll make an episode here and there kind of more about that, but that's a whole other thing.
Your 6 was Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
My 6. Go. Make your points.
The last thing I was going to say about that is the other piece about this movie that really doesn't work for me is going from Hayden Christensen's voice to Darth Vader, James Earl Jones.
Are you saying they should have just electronically modulated Hayden Christensen's voice?
No. What they should have done, though, was in that battle, he's left burned and everything.
I mean, that's what I feel like is implied.
Does he talk?
I would have loved to have seen him, you see him
he growls, and he's just sitting there on the ground going, I hate you.
Yeah,
he says that to Obi-Wan.
You see him sitting there fucking yelling and screaming, but I wish, to explain the Vader voice, they would have had Obi-Wan, fucking cut his throat, or have him try to, or have...
Right? Justin wants to see Anakin die and never become Darth Vader.
Somehow lose his voice box.
Okay.
Or Anakin tries to kill himself because he's so miserable, and the fucking Emperor won't let him kill himself, right? Because he becomes such a bitch to the Emperor, but...
I hope you don't think that's a very big point, because that's so minor that it's...
I know, but just... For having such an iconic character like Darth Vader is a total badass.
He's in a fucking modulated outfit anyway.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay.
The Emperor force choked him, like he was going to put him out of his misery and then change his mind, but he crushed his voice box.
Well, something like that. It doesn't feel natural though. And
I think his throat just got some smoke in it. He
inhaled
from the lava.
Smoke.
And I tell you what would have worked for me though,
regular or menthol.
What would have worked for me though is just having him start out as the Darth Vader with the James Earl Jones voice earlier on in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Having that have been the third movie, right where in between whatever happens and gets to that point, I don't care. But having just have heard him moments ago, and then all of a sudden, you see this cool costume, and they made a huge fucking set. They talked about when they're shooting the movie and how they brought the Vader helmet on, and Hayden Christensen got to put it on and stuff, and you're like,
blasphemy.
Put it on for one fucking scene at the end where he's a bitch.
They should have...
Not even a bitch in a good way. He just
prequel trilogy, right? Should have been The Adventures of Anakin and Obi in the first one. Second one should have been the falling out of these two. And then, at the end of the second one, you can clearly see, all right, shit's about to go down. So by the time you get to the next movie...
The end of the second
the beginning of the third one should be Anakin leaving Obi-Wan Kenobi, being Darth Vader with a red lightsaber, not in the black outfit, until halfway through the movie. Then they have their iconic battle. But then that also puts what are you gonna fucking climax with then? You know what I mean? What's the fucking money shot, baby? The money shot's showing you fucking Darth Vader for the first time. I mean, I don't know, what else? And the battle they have on Mustafar. Is that Mustafar?
Yeah. He still could have been in a suit at the end for the first time.
Well, he was. You're saying you put that at the end of the second movie?
Third one. You're saying he should be in the suit through the whole third movie?
No.
Oh.
He should be evil and have a red lightsaber, though.
Well, maybe the cliffhanger for the second one would have been him becoming Darth Vader.
Just give us some more imagery, some fuckery.
Yeah.
Show off his robot hand more and his scar, which he had. Just you can tell that he is Darth Vader. Make him act a little more Darth Vader-y.
Did you guys...
I don't know.
And the other thing that doesn't work for me in that is they try to make it a point to show you all these Jedi getting fucking killed by Order 66, Jedi that I have no emotional connection to, so I really don't care. Show me just the few key Jedi that we've met and we've had a little bit of interaction with dying off, and then Anakin going through the...
I think that's what they did.
They kind of
the ones you had seen are ones you had seen in Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace.
Yeah, but they didn't really have any characterization. They were just kind of there.
Well, no, but the one guy is on the fucking Jedi Council. He has lines.
They should have shown him kill the woman.
With the fucking big ass...
Yoda.
The cone head, the guy who's a cone head.
Yeah.
He looks like a cone head, but with Harry the Henderson's face. That guy, he's in all of them. He's on the Jedi Council. He's killed. The other person is one of the Twi'lek girls. And I'm pretty sure she's in the second one in the Attack of the Clones scene. And then they do... who else?
Party?
Is that
I don't know. It just goes to show you, there's no perfection for anything, right? Because you mean to tell me these Jedis are so smart and so in tune with the Force that they don't know when someone's going to fucking
really
betray them
easily.
and fucking kill them? Like, they died off like they'd had no fucking training ever?
The ones that the Emperor killed, too, when they confront him, there was like 3 or 4 of them.
He killed 3.
He just
well, he
kills
killed
them
4
like-
if you include Mace Windu. So
Well, the 3 at
yeah.
first. He just kills
he
them
walks
like nothing.
exactly. That's one of the things every time I watch that scene.
Why didn't they make it a big fucking battle with 4 Jedi fighting the
They
Emperor?
should have. You kill them off one at a time and some badass shit, but immediately there's 4 Jedi.
And it's like,
He jumps over there and literally stabs one, and they go, "Oh!" They don't even try to fight the guy. They're all just standing there while he kills the one guy. Then he kills another guy, and then Mace Windu's like, "Maybe I should do something. Well, I'm sure glad he didn't stab me first."
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Now, what do you think about Mace Windu reflecting the Force lightning, and that makes the Emperor look that way? Do you like that they went that way, or?
I wouldn't say I like it, but I accept it.
Do you think that's how he really looked, and his normal human face was like a facade, and then just kind of revealed
I think they're
his true
implying that
form?
they fucked him up.
Because supposedly having the dark side makes you rot away, kind of.
Well, yeah, that's supposedly why Darth Maul was supposed to look like that originally, is what people thought. Like, his horns grew and all that shit because of that. That was like a...
But that was...
I think that's... I don't know if that's not canon now or what.
No, they've shown another of his species without the makeup, but they still have the horns. I think in Mandalorian, actually.
Interesting.
Number 5?
No.
Alec is still at his number 6.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We get caught up in these conversations.
I know.
Force Awakens. Pretty much all the reasons Nick mentioned. I had one of the best times ever watching that movie when I saw it.
It has a good energy.
It has the practical effects back. They're still using some CG. You're introducing new characters. There's things that happen. Like, going into that movie, it was like, all right, who's going to be a Jedi? Is Finn going to be a Jedi? You know what I mean? There's still elements of that heavily in that movie, where you're like, all right, it's not just Rey. That's interesting. Also, just the fact that he is a stormtrooper in part of that movie, the plot line of an ex-stormtrooper joining the rebellion, fuck yes. That is an excellent plot and executed well, like the whole stormtrooper scene when they come down with Kylo Ren and Poe and all that shit. The way they tied it together and everything, the opening of that movie feels like this is Star Wars. Oh, hell yeah, I'm here for this. Like I said, the only parts I don't like are the fact... Han Solo's not great in this for me. He's not bad, but I think it's what they did with his character. Like Nick said, he doesn't have the Millennium Falcon, okay. And then that whole scene with the slimy monster and them and Rey on that ship, I don't like that scene. I don't know if other people do. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I don't like it. I just don't care for it. I like him better when he's interacting with Chewie on the planet and he's like, "Oh, you're cold?" Like, that shit makes me laugh. Because the way he did it, he looked exactly like Han Solo. He did the fucking face the exact way.
It's a hell of a coincidence that Han and Chewie were flying by right when they took off in the Falcon, you know?
Yeah, it's there's
They weren't even
things.
flying by. They just said they saw it on a tracker and they hadn't seen it
Well,
for
they were
years or something.
Close or something.
Yeah, it is what it is. What's your number 5?
Skip me this time. That way I can get on track. Because I only had 11 and you guys had 12.
Oh.
Because I didn't rank the cartoon.
Oh, okay.
So skip me this time.
All right, so my number 5 is Force Awakens. Mostly because there's things that this movie does right, even though it's a rehash of New Hope. I mean, it's pretty widely known. There's so much fan service in this movie, but I like that to some degree, right? Because they make it unique, right? You get the Finn, okay? You get Finn being a stormtrooper that's defected. You get interesting characters. Like, immediately, like, hey, we got to find Luke, right? So they have some reason to go on there, right? Which, it's the same, but it's different enough. Starkiller Base doesn't piss me off as much as it does other people. My thought to that, though, is that if the First Order is all made from people that grew up Republican, I mean,
New Republican?
Yeah. Basically, they grew up, like, loving that whole system, and, like, they worshipped the Empire, and they thought the Empire was, like, the right way to be governed in the galaxy, and they believed in that system. They would have wanted to do the same type of thing, right? Who doesn't try to mimic their idol, right? So if you want to do what your idol does and instill fear the way you remember having fear made, you're going to try to imitate that person. So to me, that was what they're doing with Starkiller Base. Now, the fact that you've got planet-killing technology, whatever, right? I guess that's the downside, is that piece. Harrison Ford phones it in some in this, mostly because he wanted to die in fucking Return of the Jedi. You get that. You get that he never wanted to deal with Han Solo again.
He doesn't phone it in as much as I've seen him phone it in, though.
No, but there's definitely moments in there, right? Like you said, the whole like alien loose on the ship, that's one of the worst sequences in that movie. I don't need that. The Millennium Falcon being found down there, saying it was traded and stolen, whatever. That it's traded hands a lot. I did think that was kind of weak just to show it at the beginning. I think it would have been much more interesting had Finn and Rey or BB-8 would have said, "Hey, like we need to get on this ship that's like at port here because it has old."
And then the Millennium Falcon,
it's recognized as a rebellion ship, right? And that's why they're trying to get on there. But BB-8 doesn't tell them why, so they try to stow away on there and hide in the old smuggler ports or whatever, and then they're found later on in the ship. I think that would have worked better for me than how it worked out. But whatever, minor things I dislike about it, but overall I thought it was good. The scene where Han Solo dies is fine. People got lost their shit about that. I'm like, no, I think you could tell Harrison Ford was okay with that ending just because that's one of the best performances he did in that whole movie, right? There's some moments there. So I did think it was a little bit forced, though, that they had like him and Leia split up over the tension of their son being a fuck up and Han just going back to his ways. But at the same time, you feel like he could do that, so it's not too far fetched. But what's your number?
5. Revenge of the Sith. It's my number 5 because it's one of the most rewatchable things for me. It has enough going on that I don't get bored in that movie. There's also the whole arc between Palpatine and Anakin finally works out, because they only started it in Clone Wars, really. Not Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones. I think he meets him and sees him in Phantom Menace, and you can kind of see them like try to start it, but he doesn't really talk to him much in that or anything. But I like their scene. They're at like an opera or something, like space opera. And Palpatine's sitting there, and Anakin comes in to talk to him, and that's what he gives him, the whole Plagueis the Wise speech. And that shit rules. That scene is fucking awesome. That's some of the best dialogue from the prequels, is that whole scene. And you can kind of see Anakin being like, oh, shit, I should become evil then. All right. The Emperor uses a lightsaber in this.
He's got a cool looking one too.
It looks like a little, like a dildo that's meant to get your G-spot.
That curve.
Oh, that's Count Dooku's, isn't it?
Yeah,
the curve.
Dooku's has that.
I think they both are kind of.
I think his is very weird and shiny looking, and then it's obviously red. But he's good at acting like lightsaber battle. Like he pulls it off as that, and then his battle with Yoda is a little cheesy.
He holds it like a knife fight kind of.
Yeah, he holds it weird, like.
Yeah.
And so yeah, Revenge of the Sith.
All right, Nick.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Rogue One. And I will say that I think Rogue One is the best movie, but it's not the best Star Wars movie.
You mean it's better than all of the other original Star Wars movies?
I think it's as a movie, it's the best movie. But it's not the best Star Wars movie.
All right, I don't have time to debate that with you. I just don't.
That's another day and time. That's something off air.
Yeah, that's just what the hell are you talking about?
At least cinematography.
Cinematography.
I like the way it's shot. I like the.
How much do you think is on location on Rogue One versus the original movies?
Well, I just like the look of it.
The special effects, the CGI.
Not just the special effects, but the way the shots are
The
I don't know how
overall,
to explain
the
it.
scene composition, right? 'Cause
Scene composition, yeah, that's good.
you're mixing multiple things in there that they just couldn't do for the original trilogy. So I get it.
I don't.
I think it's a pretty movie.
Nothing's more beautiful than Empire Strikes Back's glorious beauty.
All right. So why does that rank above other movies for you then? That's number 4. It's kind of a hot take there, buddy.
For it being number 4.
Yeah.
You guys haven't.
Is it?
You guys haven't mentioned it yet, have you?
I don't know. Have I? Why do you like it so much? What works for it? What do you dislike about it the most?
So Rogue One must be at least as high on your all's list. Well, what I already said, and it also has the good fan service, I think. Other than the 2 guys from the bar that they run into randomly on that planet. It's got a kind of dark feel to it. And
What I'll give
it
you
doesn't
this.
focus on Jedi. It's kind of a different. And it takes place during the original era, so.
What's Justin? What's your number 4?
Well, mine is Rogue One, of course.
Okay, well, mine is Rogue One as well.
Oh
I
my
just wanted to
God.
say that before I say this.
All
Hot
4 of
take
us.
right here, right now.
All 4.
One of the most unnecessary parts of this movie, to me, is probably everyone's favorite part of this movie.
Vader at the end?
Yes. And his performance, I get it. They're trying to make him more aggressive and like show a badass Vader.
Yeah, it's just.
But he does not perform like Vader. He does not
It's such
do
a-
anything like Vader because
It's such
go
a s-
watch those original trilogies and Vader is like he's more like fucking Jason. And then they fucking cast Freddy Krueger as him in this
The
fucking scene,
contrast is
basically.
pretty bad,
It doesn't work for me. I still like it. I will tell you that. But it's still, like, while I'm watching it, I'm always kind of like, a little part of me's like, come on!
When you stop and assess it in that way, that makes sense, and I would agree with that, right? Because it doesn't feel like Vader, because just later on he's force choking, he's letting the stormtroopers do the work. He's not doing the fucking huff and gruff, right? He's the boss.
Yeah, I do like that they ended that movie that way, though. I do like that ending where it leads up to...
Yep.
But it's just. But that's one of the things of.
I'm not saying it was necessary, but I like it.
Vader was the way he was because it was made back then.
Well, right.
Yeah.
But that's the way he is now.
I know.
So to change that and make him all of a sudden moving around all fast, and then you go and watch the other ones, to me, watching those ones, you're like, okay, well, this guy is clearly old as fuck at this point. He's half a robot.
Yeah.
That's why he only fucking battles people with one hand and his lightsaber, basically.
Yeah,
and then in this, he's like total fucking gnarly badass. It just doesn't work for me.
They totally forget, because if you look how simple his lightsaber duel is with Obi-Wan Kenobi in...
But he only fights Obi-Wan and Luke. Is he just holding back? Because he knows he could just stomp him.
I mean, but then you're arguing just semantics that aren't real semantics, because it's like...
Well, you're trying to
Vader,
justify it.
I would feel like it would be more appropriate for Vader to use like Force lightning to do a mass killing than to do like lightsaber hacking. To me, that feels like a murderous job that it seems like he's gotten away from by the time we're introduced to him.
I'm not saying it's bad. I think they just should have done him better.
He can't do the Force lightning. He doesn't have hands.
You don't need hands for that.
Yeah, you do.
Shoot him out of your dick.
Yeah, shoot him out of your appendage,
I
jackass.
don't think he has that either.
Oh, then no wonder he's so mad all the time.
Did you guys see where they removed the eyebrows from Old Man Vader and Jedi? Because he didn't have eyebrows in Episode 3.
Oh, because they got burned off, yeah.
That's one of the things that they changed.
Well, hair burns really quickly, too, so unless you burn the follicle and scarred the entire face on that spot specifically, hair will grow back.
Yeah.
That might have been their intention, though.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you two gone over what you don't like about Rogue One? Or
Things I don't like, I would say...
Or what you...
I don't like... What's that fucking character's name?
It's not as fun.
Saul Guerrera is very... to me. Like, this could... I don't know.
It's not as fun as the original trilogy.
Right, it's darker for sure.
Yeah. It doesn't have as likable characters.
It's hard to come across some stuff that I don't like with that one. It is harder. But I've said that Darth Vader thing, that's the big thing I don't like, is that stuff like that. That where it...
But only because it contrasts with
Here's
how
another
he
one.
is in the original.
Not so much. It's hard to say. The guy who's the general in that movie,
Oh,
the main bad guy, kind of.
The cape guy.
Yeah. I can't even put it into words. But him and Moff Gideon have the same vibe to me of like, oh, we just have to have another badass character here. That's why he's here.
Did he die?
We just need another badass.
Did he die? I don't remember.
Yes,
How
he
did
had to
die?
have died, right? Because
Yeah.
otherwise, where the fuck is he in the Empire and in other movies? You know what I mean? He died on the planet.
He died on the tower.
Yeah, he was on the top of the tower.
He died before the planet exploded.
Yeah.
Now, the great thing...
I do like his character, though, and he's great. I'm just saying, like, you can't just keep introducing somebody new badass and all these. Why don't you try to do some inconsistencies and show, like, some things before, like...
I want to go back to what
I
you
don't
said
know.
about Vader at the end, but did you like Vader in the other scene when he's talking to the cape guy?
I think he was fine.
Yeah, I like that scene, right? You see Vader on his home planet, which basically clearly he's on, right? And a lot of the legacy stuff and the new canon stuff, right? You know, he spends a fair amount of time on there, right?
A lot of people complain about his pun, choke on your aspirations or whatever, but like that's kind of uncharacteristic of him.
That seems like characteristic to me.
No, it didn't bother me.
It wouldn't bother me like that.
His voice is a little off. I'm not sure why they couldn't modulate it.
It's just age. I mean, if you look at how old James Earl
No, I
Jones
know,
is now.
But I figured in post they could modulate it.
Well, they can't fix, you know.
It's a little distracting, but it's not a big deal.
It's doable still. It's fine.
Yeah, and he's done, and James Earl Jones has done the voice on like the Rebel series and some other stuff. So it's not completely unheard of that he's, you know. So it's tough to get used to. I get that.
He sounds happier.
I guess things that
he's in
really
a good mood that day.
Things that really work for me though is they're not afraid to make you like these characters that we all know are gonna die. Right, and I guess they had the hot take where they actually try to have them like survive somehow and just go on and do their own thing.
Off somewhere.
But I like them dying, like, right? That's their ultimate sacrifice.
I think this movie has like the best of Star Wars humor that's trying to be humor within K2SO.
Yes.
That is my favorite droid in Star Wars,
I think,
other than C-3PO, I'd say. But
I think the failing of the movie is you don't get to know these characters long enough. You don't get a whole trilogy with them. So when they die, it doesn't have as much impact, maybe.
No, but they've talked about doing these characters in some other ways before.
Aren't they going to do a TV show with Andor, Cassian Andor or something?
Yeah, it's been talked about as a Disney Plus series. I don't know the status of that currently.
It's one of those things where, like, if you already know how the story's going to end, do I really care how it begins? Unless it has Darth Vader type beginning.
Or Obi-Wan, because that's be the...
Yeah, but I feel like you can do more. I care way more about Obi-Wan than Cassian Andor.
Yeah. And Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he were to
He's a Jedi.
If he were to pop up...
they shouldn't make him...
somewhere else, right?
They shouldn't give him his own show.
He could pop up in the Kenobi show.
Yeah.
Timeline-wise.
He should be a part of another show.
Yeah, he could be...
And maybe that's the plan.
Yeah, and there's things to do that in there, right? I think there's a good use of having some of these characters cross over, but to me that worked really well. I like the story of how it's intentional that fault was put into the Death Star on purpose, right? I did like that. I was like, okay, that makes sense. I do like how they also foreshadowed in one of the it's one of the titles when they're going through the Imperial Vault. It's the hyperspace lightspeed
tracker.
Yeah, tracking through hyperspace. Yeah, they have that
for the Last Jedi.
Yeah, they're working on that technology as far as back then. Yeah, so that's like a good kind of throw out there because honestly, I don't even know if they had considered that or if it was, that was about as far as they ever planned beyond things, right? So, and I know everyone thought this movie was going to be a complete shit show because of all the rumored reshoots, but I think the reshoots were them changing the ending so they all fucking died.
That reminds me. Yeah. Attack of the Clones, one of the cool things you see is them talking about the construction of the Death Star and the plans for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
that's similar.
Yeah, there's some cool things that go on throughout the entire thing, but yeah, Rogue One is my favorite out of all the newer Star Wars stuff, right?
Yes.
That's why it's number 4 on there. It feels like it actually feels like it fits in place with this.
So 3, 2, and 1. I wonder which movies are left.
Oh, huh. Jeez.
Caravan of Courage. My number 3.
My number 3.
And we don't have to get into all the detail on these ones, right? These are pretty much set in stone for us.
My number 3.
Go ahead.
Return of the Jedi. It starts to slip a little bit in the silly territory. Definitely with the Ewoks, and actually I don't mind any of the Jabba Palace stuff. I thought that felt fine.
It's one of my favorite parts of anything Star Wars is Jabba's palace scene. So
because it was contained within Jabba's palace, it can be as silly as it wants. I thought.
Well, even the whole sequence out there, I love everything about it except the fact that they just ruined Boba Fett. But whatever.
Yeah. He's still alive now.
All right, now he is.
He's not ruined. He's just hanging out in the desert.
Well, he's not in his outfit anymore, so he's ruined as far as I'm concerned.
He's been living in a cave on Tatooine like
Number 3.
Like Obi-Wan.
Return of the Jedi.
Hot take here, New Hope.
Oh, he's gonna be that guy.
That's fine. Things for me though on Return of the Jedi that I don't like is...
You know how hard it is to rank any of these movies, though? To me, honestly,
I know.
I consider them one movie. They're one conglomerate to me.
It's one story to me, yeah. But when I look at them individually, like, if I'm going to watching any of them out of order, just on their own, if I'm going to sit down and just watch a Star Wars movie, this is the order I'd probably watch them in. So, Return of the Jedi, though, the things that get off with that to me is... The Ewoks are a little bit much. It's a little cheesy there. There's certain things that kind of detracts from me. I don't hate them, right? I like...
If it wasn't the final battle against the Empire,
yeah,
it would have been fine.
Oh, I'll give you that. The battle sequence at the end there with, like, them...
The space stuff.
Like, randomly being able to just kill the shit out of stormtroopers with nothing.
With a rock.
Yeah, like... And they just die. Like,
yeah.
What? Does that helmet literally, like, lined with needles? Or, like, what? Like, what is happening? It doesn't have a hard hat lining in the stormtrooper helmet, you think, at least? A rock killing? Yeah. But,
yeah,
to
me, that's the worst part about that, and that's what takes it away. And obviously, Boba Fett, his death scene, right, is kind of cheesy. I just didn't appreciate it, especially the original take, where the fucking Sarlacc pit is just like a fucking like bunch of rubber dildos laying around in a circle that look like shit.
Was Boba Fett popular by the time they were producing Episode 6?
Yes,
or was that later?
Because he's of toys.
Toy.
Did they think about that? Did they realize it, or was it
George Lucas definitely realized that. He was all about that toys and marketing for Star Wars.
But I mean,
yeah, that's why he kept the licensing to so much of that where other places don't. Like, he was smart because...
So they were trolling the fans by killing Boba Fett that way?
No, he was just closing the story out. He honestly had never intended to make more.
Yeah, there was no setup to make him more important. So.
No, and like when he titled it Episode 4, New Hope, I think that was just him trying to throw you in the middle of something that was like trying to be like a space opera.
His original plan, from what I understand, he originally did want to make 9 movies or whatever with this idea. But it wasn't like he was like, all right, I'm going to actually get those made. So then he was like, all right, I'm just going to make one. Then he made Star Wars, and he was like, all right, well, now they want this successful, so they can make a second one. Well, in order to just fuck with people and make it so I can... This feels more like the middle of the story or something like that. This, when I was reading online and stuff like that, he decided to make Empire Strikes Back 5, call the other one 4, and then... I don't know how it exactly goes down, but it's like one of those things where... Yeah, you can find interviews where he's mentioned making 9 films in the 80s.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, like, he was never just... He was gonna make 9 movies. Well, no, that's not how movies and movie studios and movie making goes. There's discussions, talks. Once you make 3 movies, then you're like, holy shit, I never want to make another movie like that again. Also, sometimes that's what happens.
Well, yeah, there's serious fucking burnout. Look at anybody that's worked on any of these large, like, MCU stuff, right? There's people that just want to take a break from that, right? Which is also why the MCU works, because people are able to take a break. Because they're, like, taking time between flicks and stuff. But, yeah, so, obviously, you chose the original, New Hope. So what puts that at the bottom of the original trilogy for you?
To me, it is the fact that I like seeing Luke as a Jedi. He doesn't even hold a lightsaber in this movie. Like, I mean, he does, you know, but he doesn't have a lightsaber battle in this movie. There's one lightsaber battle in this movie, and it's very brief. That's main reason, because the other movies, you get two of the best lightsaber battles possible, other than the only other ones that are worth mentioning to me are the Revenge of the Sith and Phantom Menace lightsaber battles. Force Awakens, and I just hit the microphone with my hand. The sequel trilogy has a couple okay lightsaber battles, but nothing that I'm like, that's top tier.
Yeah, I think with the sequel trilogy, they try to go back to be more traditional.
They tried.
Yeah, so.
It failed.
Right, they didn't want them to be as over the top. But, again, at the same time, when you have a whole army of mystical religious people with a light weapon, they're going to do some pretty cool shit
I would
with
say
it.
that, and the fact that, so in general, Luke is not in much of that movie at the beginning. Then you follow around R2 and D2 and...
R2 and D2.
Yeah, R2, D2, and C-3PO is what I was trying to say. For like 20 minutes by themselves, which is, it is what it is. But when it comes down to it, is you're really just seeing C-3PO. It's like Jay and Silent Bob.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of them doesn't talk, so you're just really looking at one character monologuing for two people.
Talking to himself.
Exactly. It's kind of, I love it. But, that's why, I would say. Because mainly the lightsaber battle things, because those lightsaber battles...
All right, number 2, Nick.
Number 2. A New Hope.
Why is that number 2 instead of number 1 for you?
Because it's not as good as Empire.
Okay.
I don't know. They're very different also.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult to put these in.
Is one really better than the other? Or are they just
No, it's really just a preference.
They're two pieces of a very good thing.
Yes.
They're different. Empire's darker.
For me,
but it also has the whole love story between Han and Leia. Which is
Empire.
Yes. Like, that is not really hinted at in A New Hope, other than him just being like kind of trying to fuck her, basically, is what it feels like. He just wants to fuck Princess Leia.
More of a Luke and Leia romance blossom.
Pretty much.
Yeah, they kind of retcon themselves with that.
Yeah, they change it up.
Which
and
is
then...
fine. They didn't know they were brother and sister. It's not really...
No, it doesn't really change anything, right? You're just like, whatever, that's kind of gross. But
I'm just saying, that is a big plot line of Empire Strikes Back, is their relationship, them falling in love. So you have that played against the dark-ass background of everything else happening in the movie. It works really well.
There's more things to love in Empire, maybe.
Yeah, so for me, number 2 obviously is New Hope. Reason being, the first act of A New Hope, the pacing is just boring. Controversial, but to me it's kind of
That's
slow.
what I was basically saying, because
the
opening sequence is interesting, cool, and all that, but then you're left with R2-D2 and C-3PO for a while, and then you have this fucking space farm boy who's just dicking around. You know what I mean?
And I say boring just in the means
less
that it's
less interesting.
And we're not really getting anything out of there that they couldn't have just cut out, right? Now when you look at it, right, when you look at especially the special editions and all the stuff he added to that,
the best part of that intro is after you kind of you're basically just trying to explain to you that Luke is tired of being on this planet, right? And he wants to go out and do space adventures and whatever and live his life.
He really wishes his
and then he's out there staring at the two suns and that music and all that shit. That is a visually just jizz-worthy scene.
He shouldn't stare at two suns.
No, he shouldn't, but he does.
No, it's bad for your sight. Stop that.
Oh, good thing he learns to use the Force.
It's like Trump looking at the eclipse.
No, but mostly the R2-D2...
at it.
The R2-D2 3PO piece for me is kind of really what slows down the pacing of this movie and kind of makes it boring. And then there's a few things where...
I love the droids. I'm still a kid about that, I guess.
I like the droids in the context. I like them in other scenes and areas, but it just feels like it goes on too long. Cut out 5 minutes of that and give me, like, cut off of them fucking around, walking around in the desert, and just get them to the Jawas for me. That's fine. Or have them more dialogue with the Jawas and stuff, right?
The thing I don't like about R2-D2 sometimes is occasionally the dialogue between him and C-3PO is a little clunky because C-3PO has to communicate to the audience what R2-D2 is saying also.
Yes.
So it comes across in like a, oh, you sure said it, R2 kind of way. Like,
That's kind of like Kenny.
Yes.
Well, that's South Park. South Park can do whatever the fuck they want because they're South Park, but Star Wars should be presented a little bit better.
R2-D2 saying something vulgar to C-3PO.
Right.
A lot of the time.
But it's always like, oh, don't say that, you dirty bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but it's obviously still a great movie, right?
Yes.
There's no argument about that. But this
is like we're being forced to complain about these movies, so we have to.
Yeah, there's just things like when I sit down and watch that, there's parts of the movie where I'm just like, okay, I'm ready to get to the action part, right? It's like I feel like a kid watching Ghostbusters because there's like, as a kid, like the most exciting thing was for me it was the library ghost and then getting them to fight Slimer. So like to me, there's like middle stuff there that I still feel like when I watch Star Wars, I'm like, can we just pick up the pace a little bit?
I was about to say I don't have any complaints about New Hope or Empire, but then I thought about the remaster, and the Jabba the Hutt scene should have been left out.
Yeah, that was unnecessary.
They should have.
Not to mention the singing in the Jabba the Hutt scene. Also, the other one should have been left out.
Oh, in Jedi.
Yeah, that ruins it every time. It looks like fucking sock puppets in there singing out of place.
The scene in A New Hope with Jabba. Why didn't they cut away? Didn't they put Boba Fett in that scene, like in the background?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that scene has the same dialogue as a later scene, basically, that he has with Greedo.
Why didn't they cut away when he's walking behind Jabba so he's not stepping on his fucking tail?
Because where they wanted to put Jabba the Hutt, that was the only spot they could
they could have cut away to something else and then cut back to Han on the other side of him.
Have you watched the special edition VHSs?
Where they show the behind the scenes
and they show him, George Lucas, talking about that, and he loses his shit. He's so excited about how the character, he could step up on... I got the idea where he could step on Jabba the Hutt's tail because he's pissed at him.
They could have just cut away to something else.
Well, I mean, it doesn't make sense to repeat the same scene twice.
No, it doesn't, but Jabba already wants him dead. Isn't he going to be pissed off if he steps on his tail?
I mean, yeah, but it's Han Solo. That isn't Han Solo's character to be a dick, I think.
That's fine, but there's no reaction to it.
No, there's not, because
Jabba's like, ow.
I mean, it looks like shit.
Yeah.
That whole...
Well, yeah, and then he just like jump.
It looks awkward as fuck, and it looks like shit, and Jabba the Hutt looks like shit.
He looks like shit like he looks in episode
They're like,
1.
we got CGI
Jabba
the Hutt.
1 Jabba, doesn't he?
He looks like garbage. I don't know, man.
But you said he looked like garbage in episode 1 too. But isn't it like the same CGI model?
It looks like it, yeah.
Oh yeah, they did those back to back when they did the special editions.
But doesn't Jabba look too small in the New Hope
special
also?
editions were literally only done by the companies. Like George Lucas probably wanted to do them, but the companies probably only agreed to do them so there'd be more hype for when the new movies actually came out, just to re-hype them up and get new kids into them and shit. Basically,
at the theater, they needed some kind of draw too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They were trying to get my age bracket because I was born in '91.
Well, I want to see the new stuff.
Yeah, so they re-released them in theaters.
What's new in Empire?
A lot of the Wampa scene is
they redid a lot of
It's little stuff though.
It's creatures effects, and then some of the things they did actually well when they didn't entirely throw in new scenes.
Boba Fett's voice is redubbed.
Yeah,
and that's fine because matches with the
Boba Fett's voice. That's been post special edition though.
Oh yeah, that's not the original special edition.
Yeah, it was after the prequel.
Yeah,
well, that's what I mean. There's like, you know how many editions of Star Wars there are now? Probably 4, 5, 6. I don't know. You have the originals, at least the original special editions. Then you have, I think there's at least 4 versions now. Then
you have the Disney Plus edition where they have Greedo saying McClunky.
Well, there's also one they did between the special edition in the 90s and the Disney Plus one. They did one in like the mid 2000s. They did updates in like 2008 or something for the new releases of the Blu-rays or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the Blu-ray set I have.
And the DVDs.
Yeah, there's lots of changes. So let's just get to number 1 here real quick because we've been going on this and we still got to talk planes, trains, and automobiles. So number 1, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
No.
What's your number 1?
Shit, I forgot the name of the other Ewok movie.
Oh, your joke fell flat because you weren't fucking prepared. Well, fuck you then. You don't get to talk anymore about it.
This movie is great. The Battle of Hoth. That shit rules. The Wampa rules.
Battle for Endor.
the Force Ghost Obi-Wan showing up. That's badass. Luke using the Force power for the first time to call the lightsaber. That's fucking badass. His fucking lightsaber battle is the best lightsaber battle in Star Wars ever for me. I mean, I don't think that's a hot take to say.
Him and
Vader at the end.
I like their fight in Jedi better.
That's fine. I like that one better.
I was going to say, overall, Empire Strikes Back, to me, it's like you said, you have this love story going on, which is subtle, and, like, they do address, like, the jealousy thing. He's like, but that was your brother, you kind of get some of those things, and they don't even realize that yet. But
do yourselves a favor and look up on YouTube the incestual realization of Han Solo.
Yeah. Oh,
That's what I was just thinking.
that video is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually should have mentioned that in the movie, though. Like, didn't you kiss him? Oh, never mind.
Well, I mean, they kind of do, like, later on in a Jedi, but...
Like I said, somehow I've always
So this
known.
movie also does things like introduces Lando Calrissian, one of my favorite fucking characters.
Well, it's unique,
it's
too,
interesting
because...
the way they do him and the way he, like, betrays them but then doesn't betray them.
They have a good balance here, right? The first movie, and I get it, right? Budget-wise, it's cheap to shoot in the desert. But in this movie, obviously, due to the first one, the budget got beefed way up, right? And not to say that the budget for the first one's terrible. I mean, if you look at the amount of work that had to go into building the models and stuff for some of the Death Star sequences and things, and the technology they created to shoot all that. But this one, just overall, it's my favorite. It always has been. Even just as a kid, it was like, when it was just the 3, the original, it was like, yep, that's the one. The snow speeders, right? You start on a nice planet, you get awesome space sequences, meteors and all that stuff.
You get the introduction of all the bounty hunters and characters in that universe.
And then you get to go to the Jetsons planet.
You get the
and do some mining.
The Super Star Destroyer.
Yep, yeah, the Super Star Destroyer, all that stuff, right? Obviously, you see your first glimpse of the Emperor. Regardless of it, looks like somebody with slabs of lunch meat stuck on their face on the non-special editions.
Another thing they changed in Empire, they put Ian McDermott in.
Yeah, and certain things make sense, right? For continuity, I don't mind stuff like that.
I just think it's pointless, all of the changes. I just like the originals for that. It's not going to make me watch the original. Like, it doesn't bother me, I wouldn't say. But it does another thing, like, why don't we just go back and do this to every movie then, George Lucas?
We should.
No, we shouldn't, I don't think. No. We shouldn't remix every goddamn movie.
Well, there's certain things, like, let's say...
I'm fine with it. I'm just saying, even on that, there's still some subtle level of, this isn't Star Wars anymore. It's not the actual thing.
Yeah, but Lucas, as the creator, is going to tell you that it's his thing and he was never happy with it.
Well, then he doesn't understand art.
Well, he does.
Because art becomes property of the consumers, not the artist, as soon as you're fucking done.
Well, pop culture, yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's not true.
Especially for a man who didn't even direct his own movies, because George Lucas will tell you himself, he just didn't want to direct them. He wanted to see the movies made, but he didn't want to do the work.
Yeah, that's interesting. No, but the ending, right? I like how they leave you on such a fucking bummer ending, too. Because anyone that's lived real life realizes, like, sometimes you're in dark shit for a while. And to me, that's the most realistic. Like, it doesn't give you this fucking fluffy, happy ending, like...
All right, can we talk about the biggest point this movie does?
What's that?
This has the most iconic movie moment that is misquoted from Star Wars.
Oh, yeah. Obi-Wan never told you.
Yeah. He told me you killed him. No, I am your father. Here's the thing, though. First time I watched the Star Wars movies, any of them, I was aware, because of pop culture, that Darth Vader was Luke's father. I never had that oh shit moment that so many people who are older than me get. And I think a lot of people my age and younger are especially fucked on that. You will never have that cool moment watching Empire Strikes Back and you're like, holy shit, Darth Vader's Luke's fucking dad, dude.
Because they probably watched the prequels first.
Not necessarily. But like, you know what I mean? You won't have that. You can't have that now.
It would be very difficult, right? If I showed my oldest son, if I showed Pete that movie, he would have no clue. Because I haven't talked Star Wars. I've read him a Star Wars book a lot.
Yeah, but he doesn't go to school or anything like that. So if he goes to school, let him hang out with some kids his own age, like give him a 2 years And
Yeah.
he would know it. He wouldn't be able to watch it, I bet.
Well, and that's all the, like, when's the appropriate time to show stuff, right? And, you know, it's different for everybody else. So,
yeah.
My kids just prefer animation stuff right now. So, for me, it's like trying to expose them to other stuff is hit or miss. So,
yeah.
All right. If you're not done with Star Wars, we're going to pitch a better version. So, I'm just going to throw this out there right now. So, we're going to pitch the prequel series. Repitch it using most of the same elements, like the same essential stuff. How do you make those better? No, we'll go into way deeper detail. There's things I'd like to throw in there. And the same thing with the sequel series. How would you fix those? Or if you would have done them, what would you have done? But we'll come back to that another date and time. You gotta leave it on a cliffhanger. Like Empire Strikes Back. That's why it's good, jackass.
These are my dinner guests, the Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests, Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests, the Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests, Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests, the Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests, Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. Frog.
Shut this off. Shut these all off.